Living as a Christian in this society today is not easy because all of the distractions that is around us, every day we have to make choices. For example, we can believe that God is taking good care of us. We can believe that good things are in store for us. Or we can go around worried, always expecting the worst, wondering if we will ever make it. Brethren, quite often you hear fearful people saying things like, I'm afraid I'll lose my job. I don't think this marriage is going to work. Or I know my son and daughter will fall in the wrong crowd. But deep down inside, they don't realize it. Their words shows that they are choosing fear over faith. Now, fear and faith may seem like opposites, but they have something in common. Brethren, both ask us to believe something that we cannot see. It's like a blind thing. And that leads to my title today. My title is Don't Put Your Faith in Your Fears. Brethren, by way of an introduction, let's look at these two words, fear and faith. Fear says, believe in the negative. That pain in your side, that's the same thing that your grandmother died from, and it probably will kill you. Faith says, on the other hand, believe the positive. That illness is not permanent. It's only temporary. Fear says business is slow. You will go under sooner or later. And faith come up and say, God is supplying all your needs. And fear steps in, saying, you have been through too much and you will never be a happy person. And faith kept the whole conversation. Faith says, your best days are still in front of you. And now I have 6 points for us to ponder. And I hope you will be encouraged. Brethren, point number 1, what you meditate on takes root. If you go around all day thinking about your fears and you play them over and over again in your mind, they will become a reality. Philippians 4:8 tells us, whatever thing is true, whatever thing is pure, lovely, admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. Keep your mind on the things that are upwards. You know, sometimes we have everything going well. Business is good. We have good health, and God is blessing us. But instead of enjoying it, travel somewhere, talk to a friend, have a meal. Turn around and become afraid. Things won't last because it seems too good to be true. And that leads to point number 2. When we buy into fears, we draw into the negative. We have those fears to take root and come to pass. Now, negative thoughts comes to us saying things like, you're doing quite well. But get ready, it will soon come to an end. But that's a warning for us to say, to stay focused on Jesus Christ. Don't allow them to take root. Switch over to faith and take an example from David. In Psalms 23, when David prayed to the Father, he said, Father, you said your favor will follow me all the days of my life, and your goodness and mercy shall be with me. Now you notice I shortened that, but it's very encouraging to read Psalm 23 sometime. Point number 3, choose faith over fear. F-A-I-T-H. My wife keeps telling me my Trinidad accent is saying faith. But nevertheless, you understand what I'm talking about. None of us is immune to fear, worry, fear, and doing wrong things. Thinking that way simply is a bad habit. They allow the negative to come to pass. So wean it, get it out of the past year. When we are tempted to get discouraged, we have an opportunity to use temptation as a reminder to thank God that He's in total control of our lives, and thank Him for fighting all our battles. Because remember that song, the battle belongs to the Lord. Brethren, this morning I'm on fire, because when I see the summer is getting close to the end, it makes me feel like if you enjoy today, you can look back and say, today well lived makes yesterday's days of happiness. Leading to point number 4. Moving right along, focus on your faith. Remember that faith comes from Jesus Christ. Let Him deal with all our fears. If our faith is as small as a mustard seed, we can move that mountain. You can also look at that in chapter Matthew 17 and 20. So remember, in times like these, we have so many opportunities to be faithful. People are concerned about the economy, and they are concerned about the situation with their health, and they become fearful for their children's safety. But God is saying, don't use your energy to worry. Use it to believe on me. Jesus promised never to leave us nor forsake us. Hebrews 13:5 could magnify that. Do you know that it takes the same amount of energy to believe as it does to worry? It is just as easy to say, God is supplying my every need, as it is to say, well, you know, I don't think I'll ever get well. I want to give you a personal example. When someone expresses fears about being laid off from a job, I can understand, and their concern. I have traveled that road. You know, before I retired, I was a construction carpenter in the union. And being laid off was part of the industry. You are here today on a big job just beginning, and tomorrow you are gone. But you know, the union were the ones who did placement. So you take up your box of tools and you go to the hall, sign up, and wait in the line, fall in the line and wait. Or there was another option. If you fall in the click, then you could be placed regularly. But I never got into that because my business agent was Jesus Christ. And you know something I found out? He was always on time. Sometimes it might be 2 months, 3 months, a year, no work. And then suddenly the door opened. So put your faith in Jesus. That leads to point number 5. You know, when we dwell on our fears, we are using faith in reverse. We don't want to go backward. Instead of constantly worrying, I want to recommend a little prayer saying, God, my life is in your hands. I know you are guiding and directing my steps. And I am not expecting defeat nor failure. I am expecting to go over and not under. You might ask, but what if I did that and it does not happen? But what if it does? So you see, there's a positive and there's a negative. What if it does? So keep your mind on the positive. Even if you did get laid off, you don't have to worry and get discouraged or think, I know it wouldn't work for me. And that leads to my last, but it is not the least point. Number 6, we must trust God and stay in faith. Know that when one door closes, God will open another one. If we keep the right attitude, He will give us a better job with better benefits. And quite often, it's a better salary. So, brethren, cast down those wrong imaginations. Don't let those negative pictures play on your screen of our minds. You have the remote. Change the channel. Yeah. Don't even think of having a year of disappointment, not even a day or a month. If you go to Romans 8:35, verses 38, no, Romans 8. This is so powerful that I'm getting all mixed up. Verses 35 through 39. You're not going to do the whole thing, but I'll give you the synopsis. It says, there is no obstacle that is too big. There is no enemy too strong. Our God is an awesome God. And if God is for you, who can be on your side? Who can destroy you? Brethren, it's a very beautiful passage, some very beautiful verses. Read it sometime. And I want to close now. Sometimes, you know, with the weather on, people don't like to stay too long. But when the word is powerful, we prefer to have a sharp sword than to have a blunt one trying to get the job done. So in closing, you may not see better days ahead right now, but don't give up. Plug into the highest power source. Don't waste energy worrying, and use that energy to believe the best is before you. And don't put your faith in your fears. Put it in Jesus Christ. And I would like to leave with this. I'm talking so much now. Psalms 34, verses 4 through 7. David said, I sought sought the Lord, and he heard me, and he delivered me from all of my fears. Brethren, let us not put our faith in our fears, and give God all the praise, and let him be a lamp and a light unto our paths.